Welcome back to Coin Quest, coin collectors and history lovers. Today's episode dives deep into one of the most iconic and often overlooked coins in American numismatics, the 1956 Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny. You might have a few of these lying around in an old jar or drawer, and you could be sitting on a small fortune without even knowing it. So make sure to watch till the end as we break down its history, minting variations, key errors, and current market value. Let's start with the basics. The 1956 Lincoln penny is part of the legendary wheat penny series, officially known as the Lincoln Wheat Cent. This series was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin features the profile of President Lincoln on the obverse, the very first U.S. coin to depict a real person. On the reverse side, you'll find the iconic wheat stalks, a symbol of prosperity and strength. And now, the 1956 penny is particularly interesting because it came out during a time of high production. Over 1.1 billion pennies were minted in 1956, a massive number. But here's the twist: even with that high production, not all pennies are created equal. Some are worth just a cent, but others can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on a few critical factors. First, let's talk about the mint marks. In 1956, pennies were minted in two locations, Philadelphia and Denver. The Philadelphia coins have no mint mark, while the Denver ones are marked with a small d under the year. The majority were struck in Denver, over 1 billion of them, compared to around 420 million from Philadelphia. Because of this, a Philadelphia mint coin in high grade is often more desirable to collectors due to its relative scarcity and pristine condition. Now let's get into what really matters: value. If you've got a 1956 Lincoln penny and it's heavily worn or circulated, it might only fetch between 2 to 5 cents. But don't be discouraged just yet, because condition is everything. Coins in mint state, especially those graded MS65 or higher, can sell for $10 to $50 or more. If you have a coin with a beautiful red luster, known as an MS65 red, you're looking at even higher prices. Some certified red examples have gone for over $100 at auction, but what really gets collectors excited are error coins and proofs. Yes, the 1956 proof pennies were minted in Philadelphia and are highly sought after. These coins were not intended for general circulation and were struck with special dies, resulting in a sharp, mirror-like finish. Proof pennies from 1956 can bring $50 to over $150, depending on the grade. Now let's talk about error coins. Some of the most valuable 1956 pennies are those with double die errors, especially on the obverse. Doubling on the date or the lettering, such as Liberty or In God We Trust, can significantly boost a coin's value. Double die errors can range from a few hundred to several $1,000s, depending on severity and demand. Another thing to watch for is the off-center strike error. This occurs when the coin blank is not properly centered during striking, and it results in an off-balance image. The more dramatic the error, the more valuable the coin. A 1956 penny with a 50% off-center strike could sell for $200 or more. Let's not forget repunched mint marks. On some 1956 D pennies, the mint mark was punched more than once, creating a noticeable shadow effect. These RPM errors are favorites among collectors and can sell for $20 to $100, depending on condition. So, to recap, your 1956 penny could be worth just face value, or it could be worth hundreds or even thousands if it has the right combination of mint mark, grade, and error. Here are some key things to look for if you want to evaluate your 1956 penny mint mark. Check if it's from Philadelphia or Denver. Condition: the less wear, the better. Look for red-colored uncirculated examples, error signs, doubling, off-center strikes, or repunched mint marks. Proof finish: if it looks ultra shiny and detailed, it might be a proof. Professional grading: getting your coin graded by PCGS or NGC can verify its value and attract serious buyers. Right now, in the current coin market, interest in vintage Lincoln cents is still strong. Online auctions, collector forums, and rare coin dealers are always looking for high-quality specimens. So if you've got a 1956 penny, take a closer look. You might have a treasure hiding in plain sight. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1956 Lincoln Wheat penny and found it helpful, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss our next coin spotlight. Drop a comment below and let us know what rare coins you've come across. Who knows, your story might be featured in our next video. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy collecting! where we uncover the hidden treasures in your pocket change. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of the 1950 Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny coin, a small piece of copper with a big story, and possibly even a big price tag. The 1950 Lincoln penny is one of those coins that collectors and enthusiasts are always on the lookout for. Struck during a time of post-war transition and economic growth, this little coin has survived decades in circulation and is now considered a collectible, especially if it's in good condition or has rare errors. Let's start with a bit of history. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first American coin to feature a real person's face instead of Lady Liberty. The design, by Victor David Brenner, features Lincoln's right-facing profile on the obverse, a design that has remained largely unchanged for over a century. The 1950 penny belongs to what collectors call the Wheat Penny series, which ran from 1909 to 1958. These coins get their nickname from the reverse design, which shows two stalks of wheat curving around the words 1 cent and United States of America. Above that, you'll find the Latin phrase e pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one. Now, let's talk about the specifications. The 1950 Lincoln Wheat Penny is made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, and it weighs 3.11 grams. It has a diameter of 19 millimeters, the standard for all Lincoln cents during that time. There were 3 different mint marks for the 1950 penny: no mint mark for coins struck in Philadelphia, D mint mark for coins struck in Denver's mint mark for coins struck in San Francisco. Here's the breakdown of how many were made at each mint: Philadelphia, over 272 million coins; Denver, over 334 million coins; San Francisco, about 118 million coins. As you can see, these are not ultra-rare coins by mintage alone. But what gives the 1950 Lincoln penny its value today are its condition, strike quality, and any possible mint errors. Let's move on to value. In average circulated condition, most 1950 pennies are worth around 3 to 10 cents, not much above face value. However, when the coin is in uncirculated condition, with full mint luster and minimal wear, the value jumps significantly. A 1950 penny graded MS65 red, meaning it has retained its original reddish copper color and is in gem condition, can be worth $10 to $30, depending on the mint mark. Some auction sales for exceptionally well-struck or rare specimens have even gone for $100 or more. And now here's where it gets exciting: error coins. Mint errors can dramatically increase a penny's value. Look out for off-center strikes, double dies, especially on the date or lettering repunched mint marks, such as a D over AD or S over SBIE errors, or a die break causes what looks like the letters BIE to appear between the B and E and LIBRTY. Some of these error coins have sold for hundreds of dollars in online auctions or coin shows, depending on their rarity and visual impact. Let's take an example. A 1950 D Lincoln penny with a bold double die on the obverse was recently auctioned for over $450, and that's just for 1 cent. Imagine finding one like that in your coin jar. And don't forget, even without errors, a high-grade Lincoln penny from 1950, especially one that hasn't been touched by human hands for decades and is still bright red in color, can command excellent prices in the collector's market. So how do you know if your 1950 penny is valuable? Step 1. Check the mint mark. S&D can be slightly more desirable in higher grades. Step 2. Inspect the coin's color. Red pennies are worth more than brown or dull ones. Step 3. Look at the details. Sharp features, clear lettering, and minimal scratches are a good sign. Step 4. Search for errors. Use a magnifying glass to scan for doubling, odd shapes, or missing details. If your coin checks all these boxes, it might be time to get it graded professionally by a service like PCGS or NGC, which could boost its value and help you find a buyer willing to pay top dollar. In conclusion, while the 1950 Abraham Lincoln penny may seem like just another coin, it holds both historical and collectible value. Whether you have one in your change jar or come across one at a yard sale, always take a closer look. It might just be worth a lot more than 1 cent. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful or interesting, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more rare coin values in history. Drop a comment if you've ever found a valuable penny or want us to cover a specific coin next. Until next time, keep searching, because treasure could be hiding right in your pocket. Today, we're diving deep into a coin that many people overlook, yet it could be hiding in your pocket change, in an old jar, or tucked away in a drawer somewhere. We're talking about the 1946 Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny, a coin that could be worth far more than just 1 cent. Let's start with a little background. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. Designed by Victor David Brenner, The coin features the iconic side profile of Lincoln on the obverse, or front, and the wheat ears design on the reverse. This wheat reverse was used until 1958, making the 1946 Lincoln wheat penny part of a classic and highly collectible era. Now, let's zoom into the year 1946. World War II had just ended. The country was transitioning back to peace, and the U.S. Mint resumed production of coins using copper after a brief wartime switch in 1943 to steel pennies due to metal shortages. By 1946, the penny was once again being struck in 95% copper and 5% zinc. Here's what makes the 1946 penny especially interesting. In total, there were over 1 billion Lincoln cents minted in 1946. Specifically, Philadelphia struck about 991 million, Denver minted around 315 million, San Francisco produced just over 198 million. These coins were struck in high numbers, but don't be fooled, not all 1946 pennies are the same, and some are worth much more than others today. Let's talk about what gives these coins value. First up, mint mark and condition. The mint mark can be found just below the date on the front of the coin. A plain date means it was made in Philadelphia. A small d indicates Denver, and an S means San Francisco. If your 1946 penny is in circulated condition, meaning it's been used and has wear, it might only be worth a few cents up to $1, depending on its condition and color. But if your coin is uncirculated, with full details, original luster, and no damage, then things start to get exciting. In mint state grades like MS65 and above, values can go from $10 to over $100 or more, especially if the coin has a brilliant red color. Red pennies are more desirable because they retain their original copper tone and haven't turned brown with age. Next, let's talk about errors and varieties, and this is where real money comes in. Collectors pay top dollar for coins with rare errors. For the 1946 Lincoln penny, you'll want to keep an eye out for things like doubled die obverse. This is where parts of the design, like the lettering or Lincoln's features, appear doubled. These can bring hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on the severity and condition. Off-center strikes, if the design is not perfectly centered, and part of the image or date is missing, that's a valuable error. Die cracks or cuds, when part of the die breaks during minting, it can leave strange raised areas or blobs on the coin. These are also collectible. Repunched mint marks, especially with the S mint mark, some coins show clear signs of the mint mark being punched more than once. These small varieties can bring big premiums. Now let's get into real market values from recent auctions. A 1946 penny graded MS67 Plus red by PCGS, from the Philadelphia Mint, sold at auction for over $2,600. A Denver Mint version, in superb gem red condition, sold for nearly $1,500. Even coins with minor doubling or a clean off-center strike can bring in $50 to $200 or more, depending on the buyer and demand. So here's what you need to do. Go through your old coin jars, check the backs of drawers, ask your grandparents if they have any old change, and keep an eye out at flea markets and estate sales. You never know, the dirty penny lying around could be a rare 1946 Lincoln cent worth serious money. And remember this tip: condition is everything. The better your coin looks, the more valuable it is. If you think you have something special, don't clean it. Cleaning can destroy a coin's value. Instead, get it appraised by a professional or send it to a grading company like PCGS or NGC. So whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, the 1946 Lincoln penny proves the treasure might be hiding in plain sight. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more rare coin videos, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you never miss a valuable coin tipper. Until next time, keep hunting and happy collecting.